So Chelsea are through to the round of 16 of the Club World Cup. And as you can see, we'll be facing Benfica. And all of a sudden, our loss against Flamengo actually is a blessing in disguise. Because initially we would have met Bayern, but um, Benfica topped the Bayern Munich group, and then we are going to now meet Benfica. Get me? And also tonight, let's talk about tonight's business. Chelsea 2-0 win against Tunisia. Can't pronounce the name because it's actually long and it's very, very hard to pronounce, let me be honest. But let's get with the lineup. Initially with the lineup, I had a lot of problem. I think the lineup was good, but I was confused. If you look at the lineup, you see Flip Jorgensen, well-deserved start. Josh Archampong in the right back. Benoit Badoshu, Trevor Chalobah, Malo Gusto, Romeo Lavia, Enzo Fernandez, and Ken Andrews Bihol, Christopher Nkunku, and then Noni Madueke. And Leon Delap as the number 9, sorry. And if you look at that midfield, you often see Lavia sitting alone as a lone 6. And you see Christopher Nkunku and Enzo Fernandez talking as a double 10. I felt like we played double 10. And surprisingly, we had Drews Bihol on the right-hand side, which was not bad. By any chance, it was one of our best players on the team. We have Drews Bihol on the right-hand side, which was very, very good. Noni Madueke on the left-hand side. Very, very okay performance from him. I think the way he's handling that left-hand side since the match, I think the first match he played there was against Liverpool. Since that match, he has been very, very solid for us coming off that left-hand side. He has held down that position. And giving like very, very, very soon, we'll be getting updates on Gittins. We'll talk about it in our transfer video. We'll be getting updates on Gittins. There is obviously an update on Gittins. I think the move is imminent, but we are going to discuss it maybe later today, or maybe get the update tomorrow, transfer window. But one thing that I looked at that 11 and I had problem with was there was no Santos. There was no Santos. And if you look, there was no Nicholas Jackson as well, because the red card he got against Flamengo, very, very stupid red card, and he has been given a 2-match ban. So obviously we'll miss our match against Benfica, and then his ban is completed. Now let's get into the match. We started this match, like I said, it looked like a conference league. It gives me conference league vibe. You get me? Because we started very, very well, and the Tunisia side was like they were actually sitting very, very low block. They didn't want to play us. Generally, I don't think they were a bad team. But one thing that we did well was we held on to the ball and we waited patiently for our time. We had some few chances, but when a team sits slow block or sat slow block, that's something we have actually that has been hard for us. Sometimes it's hard for us to break them down. But one thing is that we waited for our time. That in the 45 plus 3 minutes, we had a free kick. Enzo Fernandez curves it in, and then Tosin Adrabayo heads it, and we are 1-0 up. I was like, whoa, fantastic, that's good. And not long after that, guess who scored his first goal for Chelsea? Leon Delap. Enzo Fernandez had another shoot. Leon Delap trapped the ball, cuts in, dribbles past a player, slot it in very, very calm. And one thing that I give that finish is that the calmness of that finish. In as much as I still think we need a top striker, even with Delap in, I still think we need a top striker for us to compete in the Champions League, or compete seriously in the league. But like that finishing was something I don't see often from Jackson. The way he calmed that ball down, slots it calmly with no pressure. That's a lovely number 9 finish. You get me? That's a lovely number 9 finish. And I can't wait to see what Leon Delap is going to grow. I think in next 2-3-4 seasons, he's going to be one of the best strikers in England, hands down. You get me? Next 2-3-4 seasons, he has the qualities, he has everything a complete striker. I won't call him a modern day striker because I view Delap as a more of a traditional striker, but he's very, very good on the ball. He links up play well as well. But he has it. That goal was very, very fantastic. Gives us 2-0, and there's no better feeling than you ending the second half. And that time we scored was a very, very dangerous time. you held down the ball, you held down the match for that long, and in 10 minutes you conceded two. That would deflate the players, the opposition actually, and that's going to give us a lot of boost going into the second half. So the first half finished, get into the second half, pretty much exactly carbon copy of what happened. And we had some few chances here and there. And I think the Tunisia side kind of actually came out more, to know whether they are going to grab a few chances, which they didn't really get me. I think they had some few chances, but nothing really to threaten Flip Jorgensen. I don't really think he did much on the post. I don't really think they were that threat, and that is what you expect. This is a team from Africa, and I don't know. Is there? I don't think there's any opposition apart from Al Ali. I think Al Ali, but there's no, even with Al Ali. I don't think they had any opposition like Chelsea in Africa. You get me? So, but I think the team really performed well. But this is what I expect from Chelsea. I don't even know the team. And that's one of the reasons that I didn't really make a preview on them. Like, I didn't know what to say about the team. That's the honest truth. But we are true. You get me? And in the second half, the coach made some few changes. I think his first changing here was um I think I forgot to talk about Drew's Bihar attempt. So I have my notes here. His first changing was Delap out, after he got his goal, and then Gu in, and you have Lavia out. And to my greatest surprise, I was expecting Santos and Esugo in. That was the first two changes. I was like, okay, doesn't he want to play Santos? And Esugo hasn't been spectacular, but anytime he's been called upon, he has been good. And having a sugar around, someone like Lavia actually gives someone like Caicedo a rest. I think we'll be having a fresh Caicedo against Benfica, and that would be a great advantage. We rested most of our players. Players like Palmer were on the bench. Grella was fully rested. James as well was rested. Didn't have anything to disturb us, and I liked how we finished the business in the first half. So we didn't have to like disturb any of those key players that started for us. And who else was actually rested? I think a lot of our key players was rested. Enzo Fernandez, I think we'll get into. I think we'll get into some players that I think that were spectacular for me. And then few moments then you have Madueke out for George, who gave us our third goal. And then Enzo out for Andrey Santos. And Andrey Santos came in, he was really good. He was really, this is a player that I have been waiting to see. Like, I've been waiting forever to see Andrey Santos play in this Club World Cup. And actually, I'm not really disappointed. He had a very short cameo, but it was not bad. I think if you look at his cameo, I think he has let me pick up what he did. In that few minutes he entered, he played for 22 minutes. He played 16 he played 17 passes, and he completed 16 of them. One shot block, one attempted dribble, four ground dwells, 2-1. You get me? And I think he had one shot. The shot that deflected in the 75th minute. He had one shot, the shot that deflected one of Tunisia defenders. He deflected in his hand, which could have been a penalty for us. And I don't understand how that wasn't a penalty. I think that the referee got so many decisions wrong, but I'm not really mad. We're qualified. It didn't really change the result for us. It didn't really affect the game in any negative way. But I think we could have left this match with like at least like 4-0. There was an attempt. There was a challenge on Nonimado, which was like at the first half, and it was similar challenge that Jackson did against Flamingo, which got him a red card. And I'm really surprised that he wasn't given a red card. He wasn't even given a card. I don't know. I don't really know. And that penalty, you can't tell. There's no way that is not a penalty. You can't tell me his body was on his hand, because that brother's body was outside. He was out. That was a clear penalty. But like I said, it didn't really affect the game, so it's no problem. But I think that's a penalty. That's a clear penalty. If we didn't score any goal, we're like 1-0 up. I think this could have been a different conversation. And later, I think we made our last final changes. We had Mamadou Sarr in for Gusto. And Mamadou Sarr I know I didn't really see much from him because I think he came in kind of late, around 80 minutes or so. And the 87 minutes, right exactly what happened in the first half. Tyreek George slots it in. I think when Kunku started an attack, passed it to I can't remember who they. I think Madueke. No, not Madueke. I think Kunku started. I don't forgotten who he's passed it to, and then he was passed to Sa. I think Sa, and Sa gave it to Tyreek George, and Tyreek George placed a very very nice shot, and the keeper kind of deflected it and gave us 3-0 win, and that's how pretty much the whole match ended. After that goal, the whole match ended. But before we end the video, I think there are some players I have to give shout out to. You get me? Some key players that surprised me. I think number one of the players I would like to talk on is Leon Delap. Very, very fantastic match for him. This is not the opposition like I am expecting us to like use to judge him judge judge what he can do for this club. But it was so nice of him getting his first goal. That is going to release a lot of pressure. You get me? Him scoring his first goal is going to release a lot of pressure on him. And by the time we get into the Premier League, I think he could have mastered the team. Very very good performance today. If you look at him, he had a 7.5 rating, played for 59 minutes, scored one goal, two shot on targets. Um, what else? Two ground duel was like that was a very very solid, and I think for me that was a very very fantastic. I think he's in the conversation for the man of the match. He's in the conversation for the man of the match. And secondly, is Enzo Fernandez. Enzo Fernandez was really really solid. That brother, I think since his divorce, before he got back to his wife, since his initial divorce, he has been on fire. Two assists today. What a player! Played for 68 minutes, 78 touches, 92% accurate passes, two assists, two big chance created, one attempted dribble, one shot block, one shot off target. Like that was a man of the match performance. And like he's my man of the match or Leon Delap, anyone, but like Enzo Fernandez was really, 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 really fantastic. Two assists. I think that makes it 3 goal contribution in this tournament alone. I think he's the highest for Chelsea. He scored again against what's our first LAFC. He scored again against our first match LAFC. And the biggest surprise for me was Nkunku. Nkunku today was really really solid. He was really really solid. I haven't seen Nkunku this good, by the end of the season. I think if he plays well like this throughout this tournament, I think there is a chance like Chelsea might not sell him. But I really really love what I see with Nkunku. I think I saw glimpses of a player that we signed. We signed. He played for 90 minutes. He didn't really have a goal, but I think he was instrumental to the whole build up. He was really really good. He had some few shots. There was one given to him by Madueke, I think he hoofed it, but like he really played it well. But Nkunku generally today had a very 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 good performance. And another player I want to talk about is Andrey Santos. Like I have been glazing over this player for a long time, bro. And I've always wanted to like see him play. Andrey Santos today, I think he needs to be given a lot more opportunity to see what he can offer to this team. Like I need to see him play more. But I really, really, really love what I see. I like what I see. I love what I see from Sanchez. I love what I saw from Sanchez. Fantastic player. 50 million, I think we signed him from 50 million from Vesca from Brazil. Let's just call it Brazil. 50 million well spent. And after a year and a half season, a 1.5 season loan at Strasbourg, he has been very, very solid. And I think the whole fan base actually wanted to see him, and he's one of the players that I was looking forward to see in this Club World Cup. I really wish he could get more game time so we could see what he could offer this team. And that midfield, in as much as I don't think our board has done well for us defensively or in attack, I think that midfield is solid. Like that midfield is from 2 seasons from now. I think we'll have one of the best midfield. You get me? Having Caicedo and Enzo as a starting 11, and you don't even want to. Don't get me started with Lavia. What an incredible player he is. Very very solid today. For the few minutes he played, and having someone like Santos, Esugo, as our midfield core, that is Real Madrid rebuild. That is Real Madrid driven. And that's like, yeah, I'll give kudos to the board. They have been really, really solid. And the last player on my list is like Noni Madueke. Very, very good. You know, if you have been watching the channel, you know, like he's one of my favorite players. I really, really like, even as much as I think it's frustrating, but this match is really, really good. Handled that left wing side, played for 68 minutes, completed his pass, 100% accurate pass, 14 on 14, three keep assists, one shot off target. Did he create any big chance? He didn't create any big chance. But defensively, he was really, really solid. He won. He went for 8 ground duels and he won 6. He attempted 5 dribbles and he's completed 4 was successful. And that is one thing I like about him. He's very, very chaotic. Noni Madueke, I play a team that plays low block, is the kind of winger I want to have. And that is where I have problem with Pedro Neto. It's not like I don't like Pedro Neto, but I have problem with Pedro Neto because that brother cannot dribble. I saw a star from Who Scores that he was the most completed dribble 3 times in this Club World Cup. Obviously, Madueke has surpassed it, but I watch Pedro Neto and I have eyes, and I can tell you that brother cannot dribble to save his life. He's very, very bad dribbling. He can't even beat his man, and that is one problem I have with him. But so far, so good. I think Pedro Neto has been one of our best players in this tournament. He has been one of our best players in this tournament. But in Madueke today, solid performance. I think I'll be looking forward to what the coach will do with us having Benfica. I think 3 days from now, we play in Benfica in 28. 28 is when? Today is Wednesday. I think that will be around Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, within that period. And, we'll have some few rests, maybe sign some few players. But, woo! We are in the round of 16. We just have to see what happens there. And like I said, I want us to really, really go far. This year I predicted we are going to qualify for the round of 16, but I don't know what happens from here. I think we have a good chance of beating Benfica. They're a very, very solid side. And don't even underrate them. If you remember, they played Barcelona this season in the group stage of the Champions League, which ended around 5-4. They are really, really solid. I think they played Barcelona again, or I can't remember, but they played around the knockout stage and they were really, really solid this season. They are really, really very solid team, and we cannot underrate them. And I want us to attack them with full force. But this is what we'll get into in the match preview. So here's a match reaction for the Chelsea versus, you get me. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.